Hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and Baro has come once again, and on PC he's on the La Runda relay on Mercury. Now just like with the last few visits, the first item is new, and this time around it's the Opticor Elixis skin. I'm a big fan of the Elixis skins, I think they look absolutely fantastic, and this one is no exception, it looks really good. I just love the amount of details these skins have, and it suits the Opticor really well in my opinion. Then he brought 4 primed mods, so we have primed cry rounds, which is going to give you plus 165% bonus core damage on rifles, primed reach, which is going to give you plus 165 bonus range on melee weapons, primed pistol ammo mutation, which is just a better version of the standard mutation. It will basically mutate more ammo from each pickup, and finally we have primed pressure point, which is going to give you plus 165% bonus damage for melee weapons. Then comes the first weapon in the form of Prisma Tetra. This is one of my all-time favorites when it comes to primary weapons. It is not the strongest weapon in the world, but it is super fun to use. This one requires you to be at least Mastery rank 4 to use it. It does mostly puncture damage with a little bit of impact and no slash whatsoever. It has an okayish 10% crit chance with a standard 2x crit multiplier and a very solid 24% status chance. And the second weapon he brought is the Volcar Wraith. This is an MR7 sniper rifle that does mostly impact damage with a little bit of puncture and no slash whatsoever. Once again, it has, at least for a sniper rifle, a very low crit chance of only 20%, a standard 2x crit multiplier, and a very high 25% status chance, which is not the best thing on sniper rifles because they just don't fire fast enough for status to be that useful. It also has a fairly lengthy 3-second reload time, however it does have sort of a unique mechanic where it will always stagger enemies that you hit, so it's very easy to land follow-up headshots. Next on the menu we have Prisma Shade, which has slightly better stats than the standard Shade and also comes with Prisma Burst Laser, which also has slightly better stats than the standard Burst Laser, and this one is, I don't know, it's not really worth it unless you really like the Shade Sentinel, because all it really does is cloak you every now and then. It's overall sort of meh, especially when compared to something like Taxon, which you can get very early on and is a much better sort of well-rounded Sentinel. Then he brought the Prisma Jet Sentinel Wings, Prisma Maghead Sentinel Mask, and Prisma Koi Sentinel Tail. These are all cosmetic accessories for Sentinels, and I always consider these to be like an armor set for a Sentinel because they just look really good together. Though they are unfortunately pretty expensive, because if you want to buy the full set it will cost you 675 ducats as well as 600,000 credits. Next up is the Hydroid Immortal skin, which is what I like to call a paint job skin because it literally just changes the paint job. It changes the way the colors are displayed and kind of like the patterns on the Warframe, that's it. So this one is very much up to you, though bear in mind that it is very expensive, it is 500 ducats, and we also have Hydroid Prime, which in my opinion looks a lot better than this skin. There's also the Prisma Imako Siandana, which is a very dinky Siandana. I generally prefer bulkier one, so I don't like this one too much, but it doesn't look too bad, and I'm pretty sure you will make it work on some of your frames. Next up is the Zyphos Prisma skin, which is a fantastic looking skin for the Zyphos landing craft. I'm a big fan of Prisma skins overall, but I think they look especially nice on landing craft because of the Prisma energy flowing through them. It just looks super cool. Next up is the Nexus Gene Masking Kit, which is sort of a cosmetic bundle for Kavat, and it contains the Nexus Kavat fur pattern and 4 colors, the Nidus White, Mesa Blue, Ignis Red, and Darvo Purple. He also brought the Kitir Atmos Diadem if you want your operator to have a tiara and be a pretty little princess, though bear in mind that this can sometimes be pretty hard to see depending on your operator's hairstyle. He also brought the Argyle Display, which is a decoration for your landing craft. And the final item is, as always, the Sons of Inaros questline blueprint, which is the item you need if you want to get the Inaros Warframe. Now my recommendation this time around is pretty straightforward, just get primed pressure point. It is one of the strongest mods in the game, you can slap it on literally any melee weapon and it will be a lot stronger because of it. Primed Cryo Rounds is pretty good as well. It adds an insane amount of core damage, which is good versus Corpus Shields and Grenier Alloy Armor, but you can also combine it into Magnetic, which is once again good versus Corpus Shields, or Baro, which is super strong versus the cloned flesh of the Grenier. Primed Reach is more of a utility mod. It does add a ton of range to melee weapons, but it's not as good as it used to be since melee weapons now obey line of sight, and it's going to be nerfed when the full melee rework comes out, where they'll be extending the range of all melee weapons and nerfing the range mods a little bit. And the primed pistol ammo mutation is actually a little bit better than the other primed ammo mutations because of how many bullet hose secondaries we have. So I would personally pick up primed pressure point as number 1, then I would go for primed cryo rounds as number 2, then probably primed reach as number 3, and after that I would either get Volcar Wraith because it is a solid sniper rifle, or the Prisma Tetra because it's just really fun to use. But then again, this is just my personal recommendation, so if you want to go for the swag and cosmetics first, go right ahead. And that's pretty much it for Baro this week, so I thank you very much for watching. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.